Mouth wide open, mouth wide open, mouth wide open like I was at the dentist.
Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video for us on our channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here. You're making a face at my intro.
No, I was like, ooh, it seems very quick. Ooh.
It's that I'm trying to emulate like one of those auctioneers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want a cow? It's £5, £10, you know. Blah, blah, blah,
Jesus.
blah.
Help!
This is Rolly.
Hello, what's the tip?
I mean, I'm sure most of you know Rollies. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Just like Jesus Christ at Easter, I'm back, girls.
Yes.
Yeah. I love the fact that after all this time, there are still many things I say and you're just like, okay, moving on.
No, I feel like there's some things you say and then like the cogs go in my brain.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I just understood that.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
Yeah, bless me.
But hello, everyone. I'm back.
It's a lovely hiccup.
It is. No.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. You're just repulsed by everything. Everything makes you want to throw up.
I don't know why I'm here. I'm very confused.
Yeah, I try not to take over too much when I come on someone else's channel, especially when like our levels of things are very different.
No, I love it. You do you. This is the wonderful Rolly. If you don't know who Rolly is, then go check out his channel. Link is down below. But for now, stay here because we're looking at the Right Can't Meme.
The Right Can't Meme.
The
guys.
Right Can't Meme, and
Yeah.
they really can't meme.
No, they're the meme themselves.
They are.
Memeception.
They've memed themselves.
They have.
That's why they can't make memes.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Very left-wing post of don't be your child's first bully. I
Yeah.
think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, just don't be an asshole.
Be
to
your child's
children.
second bully. Let the school kids do it first. When they come home, Mommy, I want to be a nice skater. No.
You are this meme because the reply from Incel Gamer is literally your job to bully your kids away from dumb decisions and
Oh
fads.
my god. I mean, ice skating's not a dumb discussion or fad.
What is it?
A nice hobby.
A nice
We
hobby.
might crack your skull.
God, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
I mean,
Really, really
I
scared.
respect it and I admire it, but oh my god, no.
I like rollerblading because it doesn't feel as dangerous, although it's probably exactly the same.
I feel like concrete is not quite as hard as ice, but I could just be making that up.
I mean, I'd rather not fall on either.
Yeah.
Wear a helmet.
Yeah, wear
the
a
point.
helmet. Anyway,
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah, literally your job to bully your kids. Why would you have kids to just mistreat them?
But also, bullying is a very specific term to use because I think that the word bullying now gets actually thrown around way too much on social media now. Someone says I don't like something, all of a sudden it's like, this is a bully. No, bullying is like a continuous picking apart of you as a person by someone over and over and over again, which is like wearing you down, affects your psyche. Someone just saying I don't like you, that's not bullying. So I hate this use of is bully gets way too much thrown around these days. But to say bully your child, so what you're saying is over a long period of time, you're supposed to go to your child and go, you are sick, you shouldn't do this is scum. Well, that's what you think you should do as a parent.
Bully your kids away from dumb decisions
Yeah.
and fads. What kind of people are you raising?
Yeah,
Like, how are they going to conduct themselves in society? They're either going to be incredibly traumatized and have to have therapy for that,
absolutely.
or they're going to be traumatized and then project that into the world and be assholes themselves.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, this person, what they're saying there, actually quite a common thing that you hear, like, especially these Andrew Tate people.
To bully your children.
Yeah, to make your children not to do things that are, like, outside of, like, the norm.
What your norm is.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a very, actually, common mindset to have. Next, get out!
Where the woke used to live before the 70s.
Mental institution. Oh my god. Do you know, also, years and years ago, people with autism was put in places like this
Yeah.
because they didn't understand what it was. They were, oh, it's a bit slow, whatever. That's generally what the idea was. I have dyslexia. When I was younger, even in the 90s, a lot of that, I was just like, it'll catch up. It's catch up.
There was no support.
No
for it.
support,
Yeah.
anything. There are so many things, if we go back in history, go further and further and further, that most disorders or conditions or anything that could be treated now with medicine or even just like managed would be put in mental institutions. There are so many different things that we easily manage now that would be considered a mental problem that were just thrown away as like the crazies.
And I like it how this meme is just perfectly explaining how they are not accepting that we are progressing as a society.
Oh, yeah,
You're basically going, oh no, my head is stuck 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. I will come nowhere near you.
Well, stay there then. Go back to that time then.
that would be great.
Yeah,
if we just had like a portal to push them.
Bye,
off through.
girls.
Go back to the 50s
Yeah, oh
then.
my god. It's one of those things where you see a lot of these posts that be like,
Men used to hunt for food and blah blah.
like while you're on Twitter moaning about it. Like, you think Twitter existed back in like 1700s or whatever it is, like when...
But also go back to the 1700s and all the men are wearing wigs, makeup and big long coats.
Oh, they're full-on sissies.
Fabulous.
Full-on sissies back then. And they're like, oh, men used to dress like men. Like, while in the high heels being like, hello, do you like my powers as wig girls? I'm in my element in the 1940s.
Oh.
No, 1400s or whenever it was, yeah.
Don't go to the 1940s.
No. Oh, God, it's that meme. They don't know it's Chan's day of visibility. He is risen. Christ is king. I cannot... The discourse that happened this year with these morons when it comes to trans day visibility and talking about, oh, it's like Easter
Sunday.
It's like they don't think that Easter changes every year. It's never on like the same weekend. It always changes all the time depending on whatever's going on.
Because it has to be a Sunday, so it's like Mother's Day, isn't it? Always Mothering Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's always the day of the week in and around this time period, but it's not the same date.
Yes, but they act like, oh no, this is the day that Jesus was arisen or whatever. It's like, but it was a different day last year. It wasn't the same date. So unfortunately, if it clashes with something else that happens to have a different meaning or whatever, deal with it. You can't just demand, oh, it's my day for everything. Like,
Nobody's allowed a birthday.
no, it's not a birthday. No. Die.
Yeah.
Well, he did.
And then he rose.
He rose. Well, did he really, or was he just in a K-hole for 2 days and decided to hide in a cave?
Maybe.
He was like, it's all a trippy moment.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Never know.
I mean, the whole thing about him coming, obviously he didn't come back to life. Like, can we get a grip, please? Like, the bush didn't talk to someone. The water didn't part. Can we stop? Believe what you want to believe. I really don't care. But when you start saying shit like this and coming and being like, oh, today's meant to be Jesus' birth. How dare you give it? I don't normally get pissed off much, but when it comes to like these like insane religious people who just think like the world revolves around them, it's like off.
Yeah, there's a lot of entitlement. There's a separation between people who have religious beliefs and believe in God. That's totally fine. I respect people's different beliefs. But what I don't appreciate
Very diplomatic.
I genuinely do.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But like, do not knock on my door and tell me I need to convert. It literally would have just been a quick Google search of what's Trans Day visibility. Oh, it's on March 31st every year?
Yeah.
For quite a lot of years.
Yeah.
It's just a coincidence just how sometimes Shaba's birthday will be on Father's Day and sometimes it won't be because
Selfish.
Yeah, I know, how dare you.
How selfish. But again, it's one of those things of like, if you actually look at like what days are, if you actually look at like, every single day, there are so many different like days of visibility or like awareness days.
Yeah.
Even some of the most ludicrous things that I don't know, it's eating muffin on Wednesday, eating muffins while wearing a muffin hat day. Like there are so many different things.
Great.
But like a day can be more than one thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it. No, it must be my.
Just be happy for the trans Christians who got a double celebration.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, why are we complaining? Yeah, it was just like framed as this whole thing, mostly in the States, as a trans people are trying to overtake this Christian holiday and celebration.
You changed a date, not us, sis. You changed it. You're the one who decides you want to have it on Jesus' birthday or whatever. Like, oh no! Hell.
This was posted in the mailroom and laundry room this morning at my apartment complex. Is it illegal to post this in a public place? Mm-hmm. So somebody's posted a babysitting service, with the little tear-off numbers. White kids only. What the actual...
Although obviously it's awful. Like,
how is she certified and licensed?
Oh, I swear to lie.
Much of a raging homophobe.
Do you need a certified license
Racist.
to be a babysitter? This is obviously horrific to see. Like, I'm sure if you're a person of colour seeing that, it would make you feel like shit. I get it, understand. But in a weird way, I almost feel like I'm glad you can just see with this person who they are instantly, and you can instantly avoid them.
Her.
Yeah, you can just be like, okay, this person's an absolute twat.
But the best thing would be if she just didn't babysit anyone.
Yeah.
I think what deserves to happen is all of those need to be ripped down.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Strike off her little certificate.
It's just the boldness of it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's America. I always find it interesting when it comes to race and when it comes to like England and America, whereas like the UK, yes, it's still here. Obviously, the UK is still quite a racist country. But like in America, it's almost like there's like a pride of it. Like you just see people in the street saying like the N-word. Like you can see it all the time.
Why is that not embarrassment? Why are people not ashamed to have this opinion? That is something that you should not be openly advertising.
Well, see, the fact that you just wrote that openly and you've attached it to a photo of yourself because you're so detached from reality.
And your name. What?
Oh god, you can imagine it. I hope she got lots of phone calls being like, in my apartment place. That means she lives there. Now all the people that live there know that there's a racist woman lives on like floor 6. Obscene. How to calm a trans woman. You need to calm down,
It's so unimaginative and unoriginal.
Make something
boring.
new. That's the thing, like, I laughed then, not because I thought it was funny, but because it's like,
you're fed up.
Get something new. I'm wishing for like some of the most offensive homophobic jokes to come out if they're clever. If you was like a homophobe, said the most horrific thing ever about me dying in some awful car accident, but make it the most hilarious gay joke you ever, I would be like, do you know what? I disagree with it, but it's hilarious. This is just boring.
It's
Like,
it's so offensive that they cannot be bothered to put effort into
No,
being offensive.
yeah, it's just...
In reality, I want none of it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, really, is this the best you could think of? And then you also choose a meme where the person who's being spoken to, who you're saying is a trans woman, would be read as a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, in no
Yeah.
world would somebody actually go, sir,
Yeah,
to that person.
Stupid.
Not only is it not a funny joke, but like, there's no effort to visually change it to fit your weird narrative.
But also, like, there isn't really even a joke here.
Oh, it's just misgendering.
Yeah, there's
They
no...
just find it hilarious.
It's like they're finding a way just to misgender someone. So they, instead of just going, oh, just call this person a man or whatever, they're trying to frame it as a joke. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a joke. But there isn't really a joke here.
And of course she's angry. How to calm a trans
just-
woman because they're not calm.
I mean, these are the same people that still say attack helicopter shit. So, like,
Yeah.
there's no imagination. It's just regurgitated bollocks. It's the same people say to me all the time, airport security must love you. First of all, how often do you think I'm flying? Like, where do you think I'm going? That's gonna having piercings is gonna make me so horrific to travel with. But it's the same kind of people that say that kind of shit. It's just like, get something new.
Yeah, it's because they just pass around their one brain cell.
Yeah, stupid.
A new version of Scrabble is being released that's less competitive and more inclusive to attract Gen Z players. Maybe their spelling will improve once they get a grip on pronouns.
Oh, again, boring! Can you just find something else? There's many things you could joke about with Gen Z that would be hilarious. And, like, pronouns. Like, that's all you... Do you
me,
not have anything else going on in your life?
I think millennials love a good pronoun.
Yeah, I was saying this isn't exclusive to
Excuse
Gen
me.
Z. This is not a
It's
Gen Z
not.
thing. No.
What I find really funny though is by trying to be so transphobic, it's actually the right-wing bigots who don't have a grip on pronouns.
Oh, yeah, they're the ones that get
They-
offended by it, really.
It's so grammatically incorrect the way they think about pronouns, and they're like,
No pronouns for this school in Wisconsin.
and it's like, what do you think a pronoun is? How are you going to address the class? Like, what are you going to do?
Do you ever think H2O is like water?
Yeah.
Is there like a code? Like H2O?
Oh.
Is there like a...
I mean, aren't we carbon-based?
Yeah?
I missed a lot of chemistry.
The funny thing is, like, I actually don't give a shit about pronouns. To call whatever you want, I don't care.
Oh, I was gonna call you a mean thing and I couldn't even think of one.
Oh. Call me a if you want.
No.
One of our videos recently got demonetized because of that. Even though it was all beeped out, I was like, no, you can't. So I had to cut it out. I was like, for God's sake.
Oh my god.
Stupid.
Still science.
Current world population 8,025,788, like whatever. People born from women, people born from men. Feel free to fact.
Transphobia.
What are you like?
It's the whole like
Only women get pregnant.
trans men aren't men because men can't get pregnant and no people are born from men.
The thing is, regardless of what you believe in, why do you care? Like, why do you care?
That's a very good question.
Like, who gives a shit?
I
Like,
wonder if their lives are just really, really boring and they're like, I need to make up some drama, a fake threat to make me feel like I have something to talk about.
yeah, a trans man who's having a baby or whatever, who exists over in that part of the world.
In
whatever.
that corner?
In that corner, don't say corner, in over there.
Face the
whipped,
wall.
Caged. You who live on the other side of the country or the world, whatever, even if you live
The
down the
opposite
street,
corner.
it's like this person existing has zero impact on your life in any way, shape, or form. Unless they're literally coming to your house and being like, I will kill you. I mean, they should.
Excuse me,
But,
don't come into my house and say that.
I'm a transphobe. But they're not doing that. The idea that you would even give a shit, I'm just like, I don't understand. I will never understand this. Your own existence being so vapid and empty that someone else existing over there causes you so much rage and obsession that you need to do this.
I feel like some people have gotten so much privilege that they're like,
Oh, well, shit, I don't get any special attention.
how can I
can't
victimize
believe
myself?
Monday is not about me.
Was that what Monday should be?
Yeah, should be yeah,
Monday.
Monday.
Oh.
Every Monday it's Monday now, yeah. And all the men need to get at work. Stupid. It's just disgusting. Well, I work from home, so unfortunately I can't do that. I'm not flexible enough.
By the time you've made this meme, it's already out of date.
Yeah! I've seen sometimes there's like a death clock, like a death counter, and it shows that people are dying in the world, and it's like, oh,
It's
lovely.
horrible.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting.
On that note.
And this person should be the next one.
Hypersexual zombie cicadas infected with bizarre STD fungus will emerge in US. Excuse me, they're called
Oh, for
progressives.
God's sake.
So they're calling
Oh, and
progressives.
Dave Rubin. Oh, shut up.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. He's a little bit like the Candace Owens, but to the gay world. So he's a gay man, and he's just like fully right wing. He's friends with like really horrific right wingers who think he wants to die. I think it was Candace Owens or someone, and they did like a video together, and they were just like, I just don't agree with your lifestyle, blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah, but we can still be friends. And they just carried on as like it was fine. I was like, if this person wants you to die, right? Dave Rubin is he's an absolute joke.
Look,
real pick me gay.
Having different tastes in chocolate, we can still be friends.
Yeah.
Thinking that I don't deserve rights and to exist.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
Friendship's
ridiculous.
a little bit difficult.
Ridiculous. Dave Rubin's an absolute joke.
God. So he's saying that progressives are STD infected bugs.
Stupid.
I bet you he giggled to himself as well.
Hypersexual zombie cicadas infected with bizarre STD fungus will emerge in the US.
I mean, that does sound terrifying.
Yeah, well, we're in the UK. We're fine.
Yeah,
For
we're
now,
fine.
We'll just have deadly grasshoppers.
Not The Last of Us just yet.
Jesus, what is that?
Oh, so basically, there was somebody, they were really mad that in the new Fallout TV show, the main character, who is a woman, her outfit is not hypersexual. You know, like, her bum is not round and plump and vacuum packed into her outfit. She's just wearing, like, a boiler suit type thing. But it was very progressive. It's like, good, not hypersexualizing the woman lead. And so they photoshopped it to make her butt look very, like, round.
Weird, perverted thing to do.
So I think this is taking the piss out of this. So it's like the meme about like trans day visibility being on Easter, the person who's saying it is trans visibility day. They're always like, oh, they need to have like pink or purple or blue hair, and we need to make them look really like grotesquely drawn and all of this stuff. It's not realistic. Where have you seen women with such arse and such tight clothes? Ban it. That's what I call realism. Good outfit for post-apoc setting. A woman looks like a woman, not a sex toy. And then perfect when she's just covered in a sheet. Like, they've masculinized so many bits about her. So you're saying that just because this character in Fallout wasn't sexualized in her outfit and had like a really round bum that was on show, suddenly everything about her is now more masculine.
What's stupid as well is the fact that, like, if you're watching a show about like a post-apocalyptic sort of environment, all the shit, for just to see hot girls, I don't understand. Like,
It's not the place to go.
Yeah, like, what? Why is this what you're going to do? I think you all should die. The thing is, when it comes to a lot of this kind of stuff, there are many still games, shows, anything where they still go to this sort of like slightly more hyper sexual identity of a woman. Like, that still happens. But if you want to be realistic, it's not realistic in any way, shape, or form. Like, you would never have these people like Lara Croft, for example, in the original games. She would never, a person actually in that environment doing that would never look
She'd
anything
get
like that.
hypothermia.
Yes, you would just die of like a coldness. But like,
exposure.
I actually don't have a problem with it. If people design things like this, is fine. Like, it's you know, as long as everything's consensual, everything, it's fine. I actually don't have a problem with it. But can we stop acting as if like every single female lead in every single show has to be this one specific look of a woman? I don't get it.
The biggest bum and the smallest waist.
Yeah.
And this was made as like some, oh, look how stupid they are saying this and it, but actually like that is unrealistic.
Well, it's
and it is realistic for her to just be wearing, like, it's a boiler suit.
Yeah.
To make somebody look like that in like a onesie, you'd basically have to body paint them or make it lycra.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just,
what I don't understand is why did they need to put like the slight hint of sort of like racism at the end with the burqa? Because if we take this as fact, what they're saying is fact, we would say the middle photos, but yeah, that's fine for the show. But they needed to take it one step extra just to kind of be like xenophobic. I don't.
Is it trying to say like, oh, what progressives really want is women just to be completely covered?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, this is why it's called TheRightCantMeme.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know why. We're literally trying to dissect the reason why we're doing this.
We're trying to create logic out of something that's not logical.
Stupid.
No, this isn't how real women look. And then it's literally a CGI game character, not a real woman.
Not a real.
Yeah, that's a made-up cartoon character. Maybe like loosely based off of a real person. That's not a photograph.
So ludicrous. Again, you're basing it off of an anime character. Like, people don't look like that. Unless you've got like loads of makeup on, or maybe some like tape and things to shape the face. Like, look at the face. Look at her chin. Like,
VFX.
No one would look like that without surgery. Like,
and then underneath, some good old transphobia against Dylan Mulvaney. Again, yes, a real woman, you go girl. And it's like, yeah, what I don't understand is they're making a meme that is literally just the truth, but then they sit there laughing at it as if they've made some special point.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, person who made this meme and who agrees with this meme, that is not a real woman on top, because that is a game character.
That is, yeah.
That, yes, trans women are women, so the bottom photo photograph is a photograph of a real woman.
It's so stupid.
She lives in the real world, not the computer.
And the thing is as well, is as like J.K. Rowling was doing this with Monroe recently, it's like they pick images of these trans women as well very early on in transition.
Yeah.
Never what they look like now. And I'm not saying there's a right and a wrong way to transition or to look like a woman or whatever, but they very specifically take images in the early transition stages when they're learning makeup before surgeries might have happened. And it's to pervade this message that like, this is what they look like, or this is, actually a man or something. And it's like, that's not, how they look now to begin with anyway, if you want to play that game.
It's misrepresentation and it's being done maliciously.
Yeah.
It's not being done with like this person shared this back in the day. This is, it's out there on the internet. Other people can see it if they want to.
Yeah.
It's literally to misconstrue what they look like now.
Yeah.
And it's to say, okay, I'm going to share this to millions of people with the intention that this is what they'll think this person looks like now. And this is before this person has had literal gender affirming healthcare and surgery. Like FFS is gender affirming healthcare, and you're posting a photo of somebody prior to them receiving that surgical procedure. And that's rude when you're doing it within that context. If you're doing a before and after that somebody is going to be fine with, sure, show an old photo. They shared it themselves as well. But if you're doing it to like knock them down and laugh at them and call a trans woman a man, so you pick the photo you can find where they look the most masculine to you, that's horrendous. That's like disgusting behavior.
Just to convey a specific type of message, which is just, again, the right can't meme, because they don't understand how to actually like do it. Like, at least if it's going to be offensive, I said, but make it make sense at least.
I know, I feel like this could almost be in trans memes.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Stupid. McBurgers, go!
McBurgers. And they said $20 hour minimum wage would hurt California. I know, right? Please pay the robot $168 for your burger.
What?
It's just people who are anti-minimum wage being raised. Oh, but the robot's gonna do the job.
When it comes to this very Tory mindset of like, no, we shouldn't help people. It's like, if people around you and in jobs in all industries can make a bit more money, minimum wage raises, people's livelihoods can get a bit better, they can survive a bit better, people's mentality, people's mental health, people's even just attitudes towards things raise because they're not so stressed out anymore. Even if like the top people, even if it came, they might lose a tiny bit of money or the tax a tiny bit more. It's like, you do realize that you will actually help an entire population of people to be better. And in the end, you'll probably make more money because there's actually happy people living life, going out, having fun, and not going, oh, I have to now sit at home and eat tins of beans because I can't afford this because wages are not rising, like minimum wage isn't rising, but my rent and all that shit is going up. It's like they don't actually think about the bigger picture. They think of the immediate, like, I will lose this money. But in reality, if you actually think about it, if everyone's happier, money is more likely to be spent with happy people.
Yeah.
Like,
if people at McHot Dogs are earning more money, then they can go and buy more McBurgers and vice versa. Yeah, you're right.
if your country is full of happy people, you will have much more positive outcomes, more jobs, more money, more things will be spent, and the economy will flourish more.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like a financial advisor, because I'm not, but
job title.
Exactly, yeah. Buy Bitcoin. No, but like my thing is just like, if the population of your country is way more happier, you will make way more money because people will spend more money when they're happy and not worrying about eating food.
What is beyond my comprehension is recognizing that workers under a certain company, right, are being paid below what would be considered the minimum standard of living wage. And that could literally be an extra 50 pence per hour. And okay, fine, across thousands of people, that is a lot of money, but that's what people need to live.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, it's capitalism, isn't it?
Well, eventually, we said this about where I used to live in Wembley, where it's like the building that we lived in, the rent was going up so high that like people who could afford it, like we could just about afford it. Even if we could, it's like, well, we're choosing not to because it's so much money that like you've now lost people who would have stayed there. And over the years that we lived there, more and more people are moving out. And it's like, so you want this money so badly and you keep saying blah, 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 but now you're just gonna have an empty building. Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's get 30% capacity at the highest rent we could possibly charge and make significantly less money than if we had 100% capacity at a standard rent.
Yeah. I don't get it.
And then they get themselves trapped in a cycle because they're charging so much rent. The fewer people they have, the more rent they're going to feel like they have to charge.
Absolutely.
And it's actually, no, just drop your prices and people will come back.
Yeah, and the same thing about this, what I said about money, people being happier. Like, if you run a business and you don't pay people enough, they will leave your business and it will fail. Because eventually, people who can't afford to stay in this area, especially like in London, like, obviously, it's different when you got like Burger King and McDonald's. Obviously, it's a bit harder, but like actual companies that don't pay people enough money, you will just lose your workers because people will not be able to afford to use this as their main job.
Yeah.
And they'll just move out of the city, they move out of these places and you'll be like, well, what am I going to do now? People don't think of the long term. They think of the short term and they don't realise that actually...
They need to go get a minimum wage job.
They need to go get minimum... I don't know. I just find it... People never think of the long term of this shit. It's always like, spend, now. If I don't make anything right now, I failed and that means I'm going to die. And it's like, well, actually, no. If you don't actually treat people good in long term, you'll fail. Crash and burn.
Be nice.
Just like...
Crash and burn, be nice.
Supernova.
The female brain.
Dear.
Rolly, this is going to be lovely. Okay, so what sections do we have? It's
Wine.
true because it's true in my mind, connective tissue. That's like the whole bit of the brain.
The funny thing is, like, just literally going on that one bit of sentence, it's true because it's true in my mind. This is exactly what this person who's created this meme has done. This is literally exactly what you've just done. The fact that you've written all that is you just going, it's true because I said it's true. This isn't true for women. Like, I know many women who don't just whine, nag, be thankful for all the things men do for women.
Is the tiny dot
The
in
tiny
the middle.
dot.
This is a man who's like,
I'm not appreciated.
Yeah, and you probably-
I bought her a dandelion and
Yeah.
she didn't love me.
A dandelion.
A dandelion.
Body aches unit. Demand more.
yeah.
Princess Bridge.
I'm assuming that's the bridge between being demanding and then sulking if you don't get it. It's because
maybe.
they're a princess and it connects the two.
Oh.
So then they sulk. There's a tear duct trigger because they cry, mouth motor, and then a very horrible one that I'm not going to read out because YouTube won't like it, but also it's just not nice.
No, exaggerate and lie. I just don't get how you can make that and think that you have a good point when you're just being a hypocrite.
And if you hate women this much, I'm so confused. Why straight men hate women so much?
The question of life. I
know.
honestly don't know.
The answer is not 42.
No.
Nobody knows the answer.
It's
But
actually 64. The Oracle. No, I don't understand. I don't get this hatred. The only thing I can even think of is because, like, I don't know, maybe they're like... I actually don't know. I can't. I honestly generally
like
don't know
he's
this.
thinking.
Yeah, this hatred for women that so many of these men have, I don't understand. Ugly, horrible, gremlin people who just stay in their own little caves and watch anime and think all women should be like that. Maybe that's what it is, though. I think maybe sometimes it's being very sheltered.
do you think this is made by an incel?
Yeah, like I feel like this is very incel thing. Maybe that's it. It's like people who can't actually come out of their little bubbles. They suddenly think that, like, they see an anime girl being like, oh, I accept everything from this man, and then think, why aren't other women like this fake character?
Maybe. It very much gives me the energy of like, I held a door open for her. Why did she not marry me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Free speech tolerance. Do you know what's so funny about all this free speech going on at the moment? When she did the whole talking about trans people in the Holocaust,
Yeah,
talking about that stuff, there was a whole thing about people saying that she was a Holocaust denier and stuff, and so people had free speech, all this shit, and then she was like trying to sue all these people.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So what's all this free speech? You keep going about how she's like a free speech defender, all this stuff, but then just sues anyone she doesn't like what they're saying.
Yeah,
like
and they just don't understand the difference between freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence. So it's like, sure, yeah, say something that somebody doesn't like and they're in a position of power, maybe they'll sue you, but like it's very hypocritical for the person to do the suing to be the one who's like, free speech is being imposed upon.
It's stupid. It's really
And then
dumb.
literally just trying to shut down people that disagree. And block. Left, right, and centre blocking as well.
Oh, constantly.
It's just like literally curating this incredibly transphobic, toxic echo chamber. So many people do it who have these views.
Yeah.
And they create their own little echo chambers and they're like, free speech, free speech. And then as soon as somebody says something they don't like they'll have cis women show up at transphobic rallies and start speaking and being trans friendly. No, they take the microphone away from them.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened to free speech? Come on.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's like free speech for me, silence for you.
Yeah.
You give them anything back what they give you, and all of a sudden it's like, how dare you? God, stupid. That is my impression of a turf as well.
I think that was perfect. Yeah.
Oh, is that Donald Trump? Pray for this man. He's fighting an evil that we can't even imagine. What?
A lack of conscience.
Just too much Cheeto dust. I don't like. What is he fighting?
I don't know. It's just people who are like, oh, Trump,
They-
so wonderful.
they-
I don't know why I rolled that.
Oh.
Trump. Oh, Trump.
Getting spicy. The stupid thing about it is the fact that a lot of the time when it comes to right wingers and the obsession with Trump is that they kind of, a lot of it's to do with religion as well. They're always very religious people. It tends to be the same types of people, yet they idolize him as if he is a god, and they talk about him as if he is a god, which in itself is a sin, which I find very interesting that they become so besotted with this man and talk about him like he is the be all and end all of existence. And it's like, that should be your god, who you seem to all be like, God. Did you see that video of him, the person asking Trump about the Bible? And they were like, so what parts of the Bible do you like? And he was like, all of it, just bits there and there.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly not read it.
Not read the Bible. Bible, and then like, so what testament do you like? The Old or New Testament? It's like all of it, yeah.
Yeah, and he's selling his own Bible, right?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like,
Selling his own Bible. Isn't that
his
the
own.
most Tory thing you could do? Being like, I've made my own Bible that you can.
It's like $60.
Well, people who's selling those shoes recently as well, as the Trump shoes, and this man paid like $9,000 for these Trump golden shoes. It was like,
Gee.
how you don't see how this man is just rinsing you for your money? He is a con man, nothing
Evil.
more than a con man.
The evil is literally his own thought.
Yeah.
New Nemo remake looks pretty good. Finding Daddy. The racism. They can't make a joke without being like homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, or racist, or sometimes all of the above.
It's so.
I mean, from my understanding of this, part of it is to imply that black men abandon their children.
There's that, yes,
Like-
there's that stereotype of that. I know Jeremy Kyle's show was absolute trash, but like most people that are on that were white, and it was basically the same people being.
Yeah.
It was basically the same problem of like, he's run away, and they were all white people.
It's just racist.
Yeah, it's just racist. Like, it's stupid. But again, it's very the callers coming from inside the house. Can we stop acting like white people are any different with this kind of shit? It's so tiresome now these days. We talked about the stereotypes of like the angry black woman on my channel. It happens the same thing. Like, there are many videos that most of the stuff that we looked at in that video were just white people shouting and screaming for no fucking reason. But they don't see it. It's like, no, that doesn't happen. It's just black people. No.
Yeah.
It's boring. Get a grip. Like,
It's
how you
like,
still like it?
You know, beer goggles. They're wearing bigotry goggles.
Yeah, absolutely,
And it's why
yeah.
when people say, like, scratch the surface of a transphobe, you find a homophobe, and you go down even deeper and racist.
Yeah.
And it's because it's all stemming from this same root of bigotry
Yeah.
and just intolerance and not wanting to see the good in people who are different. You only want people who are exactly the same. That would be so boring.
Oh, what?
Could you imagine?
What's funny as well is like,
Imagine
all
a
these-
world of Ben Shapiro's.
Oh god, the tone, voice, just an echo of this like sound constantly. Why does he talk the way that he does? It's almost like he's like can't form a sentence. Everything is like this. I have to keep stopping.
I really tried to avoid watching anything he does.
It's just obscene. I see him sometimes because I do sometimes I react to like alpha male stuff, and a lot of the time they use like his sort of sound bites and things, videos of him talking about like just anyone who's being like misogynistic. All of a sudden it's like alpha male. So anything when they anything ridiculous, but it's boring at this point. Again, right can't meme. I understand that's the whole point, but even still, I just like, can you just think of something else? Again, if you're gonna be offensive, please just be original.
Yeah,
I want to appreciate it.
But that is the thing. All of the humor and everything they find funny, it's all rooted into knocking other people down.
Yeah.
And being just horrible. It's like they can't do a joke, they can't create a meme without it being rooted in some form of bigotry.
Yeah.
And intolerance.
Yeah. Stupid. Finding daddy. I like a good daddy. Slut. Cleaning toilets is more productive than arguing with feminists. What? How are those things even equated? Like, what?
I read this and I was like, I don't quite know what it means.
What's that supposed to
But I feel like it's just trying to say women should stop being feminists and should clean toilets.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one of those things like, get in the kitchen, you make me a sandwich. Like, true. Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich because I am quite hungry. But like, no.
What would you like?
I would like embryo of ostrich.
Rare. Sure, I could find it.
Yeah, she is a very unique butterfly today.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
No, but like, what would make
Sorry.
more sense would to be like, I don't know, arguing with a dog is because like a toilet doesn't do anything. If you're gonna make a joke like this, surely you'd be like something that actually responds to you. I'm looking way to it. I know I'm looking way too into this.
You're trying to rationalize
I'm trying to rationalize
Yeah.
it. But like, cleaning toilets is more productive than arguing with feminists. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know anymore.
I wish the rich paid their fair share to a genie. It is done. Poof. Nothing's changed. Correct. As in, the rich already pay their sure jam.
Stupid. And what's funny about this is like, I bet someone who doesn't have a lot of money probably made this meme. The amount of people that defend billionaaires, and I'm not saying this is like a slur, but like working class people who don't have much money, who might live paycheck to paycheck, especially in this day and age with the cost of living and stuff. The amount of people I see that like defend Elon Musk, I'm like, he literally thinks you are scum.
And who vote Tory?
Who vote Tory. Like, these people want you out of existence. I don't get it.
They're not here to help you.
Yeah, I really don't understand. I really don't understand this idea.
I think it's because very broadly two sides of politics, right? There's the economic side and then there's the social side. So it's often sometimes when people agree so strongly with the social side of one party, they forget the fact that they're just going to screw themselves over economically by voting for them. And it's like, oh, okay, because that's one reason. But like, you know, the Brexit campaign was just full of lies.
Yeah.
And so many other campaigns in the States, a lot of the stuff stuff is just blatant lying.
Blatant lying, yeah. I will never understand how there was no legal repercussions for some of the stuff that happened by Brexit. Nigel Farage, especially the whole bus thing with the whole NHS money, it was just literally, it was just all completely all fabricated. How there was no legal repercussions for that, especially because of like what that led to.
Yeah.
The fact that now, just to get fish fingers, it's like £10 a box. Like, it's so stupid. Me leaving the restaurant after tipping 0% because the waiter told me his pronoun. You're using a picture of like Ken from like, the Barbie film, where the whole message of like the Barbie film was like about inclusion and acceptance and everything. Yeah, there's a little bit where he's a bit weird in the middle. Then at the end, it turns back the way that it should be.
Yeah, and actually, people with that kind of opinion in the writing did not like the Barbie movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing?
This one's just for you, Roland.
Oh, ew, I just realised it's Donald Trump. I was like, oh, daddy, girls. And then I realised it's Donald. Oh, my God.
Daddy's coming home, and he's gonna beat off every man that comes in his face.
You're supposed to make a meme that's on your side that goes like, oh yeah, this is what we believe in or something, but you're going to also make it about a gay joke.
This one, people were like, wait, this must be a joke. This must be satire. And I suspect it was made as a joke, but somebody who's right-wing apparently posted it unironically in a thread and then picked up and put on the subreddit. But I suspect it was initially made as a joke.
But again, I don't understand why they need to put Donald Trump's face on it as if like he looks like that. It's this is what I mean about this.
Have you not seen?
Raw dog me daddy. But like, this is what I mean about the whole like they idolize him so much. It's almost like they don't realize that he is like a human being who's like in his own body, in his own mind, in his own way. They act as if he's like this ethereal being who like looks like this.
Well, it's like there was a whole thing about his height where like they were like, oh no, he's really tall, and then like for some reason for him to be powerful they had to make up that he was really, really tall. That is so bizarre. It's
I don't
just
get
like
it. Like,
he's a man in his 70s, he's very orange, he's got a comb over, except what he looks like.
What's really funny about this, not funny as in half funny, but just funny as in like the situation, is like the amount of people who are on the Trump side who will watch someone like Joe Biden make mistakes or fumble things and go, he's decrepit. A lot of the stuff that Donald Trump does is the exact same as what Joe Biden does when it comes to stumbling his words, getting facts wrong, getting things, and they're like, no. But if Joe Biden does the same thing, I don't like Joe Biden either. I don't like either of them. But like, if I had to pick between the two, he's better than both of them. But like, I still don't think people that age should be in control of the country anyway. Like, I'm sorry, do you know what teenagers need? But when he makes the same mistakes that Joe Biden does, it's like, no, it's okay. It doesn't mean anything.
It's okay. He just didn't have his afternoon nap.
Yeah,
it's
just
fine.
like, these people, I'm sorry, they just shouldn't be in power. Like, call me ages if you want for that, but I'm sorry, I just don't think when you get to that age, you're too out of touch with what young people need. We need middle-aged people to be like, at least somewhat coming into power. Because they say you can't be president until you're like almost 40 or something. You have to be actually quite going on in age to become president. There's an age limit. There should be some fact check or something, but it's like, I suppose like almost 40.
I think when you hit like your 70s and 80s, I don't know, who could be bothered to be president at that age?
Power. People just like power. Unfortunately, when you get to that age, it is about power and money. Like, it's not because you want to help the people. It's just power and money.
Pessimist, the glass is half empty. Optimist, the glass is half full. Leftist, the water is racist. The water is racist.
They don't have any idea what they're talking about. A little bit like the transphobe one was like, oh, calm down, sir. It's like they want to get like racist and they'll just put it with the most random thing that could ever happen. It'll be something like, I don't know, playing on the Xbox. Oh, I like to shoot zombies. Playing on the PlayStation. Oh, I like to shoot demons. Aliens. And then it'll be like playing on the Switch. This game's racist and should be like, no pronoun. They just want to use those sort of like slogans and they'll just like pair it with the most anything they possibly can.
And I'm like, of course racists think that people who aren't racist think everything is racist because they don't think that the racist things they say are racist.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just, we see it with transphobes. It's like people still defending J.K. Rowling and saying she's not transphobic. It's like, I have a news flash for you. That means that you are. Because she has very blatantly said that trans women aren't women.
Yeah.
She's said some very bad things about the trans community and very hurtful. Cannot get more black and white transphobia than saying trans women aren't women. And the people who then go on to say, oh no, but she's not transphobic. That's not transphobic. You are transphobic.
Yeah, that's
the only reason why that would not be viewed as transphobic is because the person saying it's not transphobic is transphobic.
Absolutely, yeah, because they don't think what they're saying is wrong. It's one of those things that no matter what you say to these people, they're too far down the rabbit hole where they're unsavable. At this point, it's like their DNA. It's become like a part of their DNA of like, this is me now. And I always say this when it comes to Voldemort, that it's like, if you were to go back to the day where it was a middle-aged moment, it was just a middle-aged moment, and then show what they said about even just Monroe, the whole thing about dead naming Monroe, using old pronouns and old photos. If you were to show Voldemort that and be like, like, this is what you've just said. I bet you back then they're like, no, I'd never say anything like that. It's almost like they get more and more extreme.
Yeah.
The spiral of like extremism happens all the time when it comes to these people. It'd be interesting to see, go back in time and to show them, be like, this is what you're like now. If it would ever like snap in their brain of like, oh.
I read something really interesting. So like people get trapped in these echo chambers. They're given more power to their opinions because they found this support bubble who do it. They're basically in a cult at that point, and it's really hard to get out of, because getting out of it and going back on those views, especially if you get more and more extreme, you have to then admit and face the fact that you have caused real life harm to people. And people don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So like it's a really hard thing to do, to get yourself out of a hurtful cult or out of a hurtful mindset.
Yeah.
Because then you literally have to be like, well, damn, oops.
It's very rare that you find, I mean, it does happen sometimes. You see some people.
One of the Westboro Baptist Church, one of the women from there left, but then fell straight into transphobia.
Oh yeah, the trials of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, stupid. Is it really that surprising?
And it's like, well done for leaving the first one you were in, but you've just fallen straight into a second one, and you're still hurting people.
Yeah. You would expect that someone like that who managed to get out of a horrible place like the West Baptist would have a little bit more awareness.
And maybe be like, maybe I shouldn't say horrible things about groups of people that I don't know.
This is the thing. Absolutely. You're having the same response now directed to you as you did when you were in the Westboro Baptist Church. Yet for some reason you're not going, maybe this is the same as what I've just done and just come out of. Stupid.
I wonder if there was maybe a sense though of like...
Megan Phelps Roper, isn't it? Yeah.
Of like being lost coming out of this environment.
Yeah.
And then finding support. Because I think there's a lot of manipulation within any kind of bigotry when people are pulled into it when they weren't initially bigoted. So like transphobes, there's a lot of lies said about the trans community to fearmonger. And so I feel like if you've lost that community you were so used to, it perhaps would be easy to fall into another one if you were manipulated into thinking that wasn't hurtful.
Yeah.
Like these new opinions you now have aren't harming people. And then when you do realize they are, that's going to be horrible. It's not going to be a fun day.
One thing that does actually make me happy with these people is they are the people that sit there who just get livid, like Glenna, that awful man.
Yeah.
Like these people, they're chronically online, constantly angry about everything.
Obsessed with being hateful.
Obsessed with being hateful. That cortisol kills you. And all they're getting is cortisol rushing through their body, which is why if you look at Voldemort, she's aged terribly over the past few years. Don't I tell you why? Because cortisol ruins your face. Cortisol destroys your body from stress. Stress is one of the biggest killers in people. Like, stress will just age you out of existence, like, really quickly. Like, presidents, do you think presidents from, like,
They do age.
They age so rapidly. And again, people age and stuff, but the speed that a lot of these people age is so quickly. And the fact that cortisol is like, you feel that stress hormone, sis. You get that rushing through your body.
There's that truth in when people are so horrible inside, it really does
them.
It does reflect on the outside.
Bigotry
It does.
rots the face and it rots the brain.
They lose everything. There are people who are transphobic and they've lost their jobs, they've lost their families, they've lost their friends, and the only friends they have are fellow bigots who only care about them because they're bigoted. As soon as you realize just how wrong you are, if you ever realize how wrong you are in that opinion, and you want to backtrack a bit, nobody's going to be waiting for you.
Yeah, it's Lawrence Fox is another perfect example of these like
people
horrific
throw
people.
their lives away to be hateful, and I'm like, honestly, if there is some kind of afterlife, you are being judged. Like, that is not gonna look good on your heaven CV.
I loved that video of Lawrence Fox. It was just after he got sued by Crystal for calling like them a paedophile. But there was a rally about protect kids. It was like a drag queen story hour, and he got out of the car and he was just like send this to the microphone, and he was like this, like trying to tell his point to all of his bigot friends. But because there were so many counter protesters, and in recent times he has to pay shit tons of money and like damages because of defamation lawsuits against him for calling Crystal like a paedophile. He was just there like quivering, like shivering, like trying to tell his point because he was being drowned out by all these people. And I just love to see someone who is so vocal on Twitter, who is so confident on Twitter, be this like quivering mess of like a boy like in that situation. I was like, yes. I love knowing that it actually is affecting these people. Like these people actually do get affected by it, because I'm like, good. If you're going to be screaming angry about us, at least give us the satisfaction that like you're actually trembling. And to see him like with a microphone being like, they said they couldn't. There was a thing as well. He was doing a thing about boycott Nike, but he was also wearing Nike shoes at the time. And he was advocating to boycott Nike, and he was like, no, while he was wearing Nike shoes. Like, it's so dumb. They
That's
have no...
so typical. I'm not surprised that happened.
Yeah.
The only bit that really irks me is the fact that because it's powerful people who are being so transphobic, it is having an impact at the moment on like the social culture. It's getting into politics. If that weren't happening, I'd honestly just be sitting back and going, be mad. Make yourself as angry as possible. Fuel yourself on that hatred and let it consume you whilst all I'm doing is living my best life.
Yeah.
You're so angry because I'm just being me.
Yeah.
Because trans people are just being themselves. That is such a pathetic thing to spend your life being angry over.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I know it takes a little bit of time. These people will die. Like, it is an age thing. Like, we can pretend it's not, but like, the majority of these people who are like turfy, they're all like getting up there in age. Like, the majority of young people are a lot more progressive and will accept. They will die out. Unfortunately, it takes a while sometimes, but if these people never change their mind, they will die. That's a positive you could take from this. My job is done. But it's true. The article that the Daily Mail put of like J.K. Rowling was like the people that support J.K. Rowling, the people that don't.
Oh yeah.
And it was all like the Harry Potter people who are like mid-30s and all the old people to support him. 3 of them have already died.
If that takes too long, they'll be too old and too tired to carry on with it. Like, there's gonna become a point where it's just like, maybe I should paint a nice watercolor picture.
Yeah.
You know.
And the thing is, like, I think this is going to be the first like election cycle where there's a big proportion of like new Gen Zs able to vote.
Yeah.
Which is why I think there was a thing about Trump was trying to put a law in that you had to get a photo ID to be able to vote or something, and it was because it's harder for younger people to get these like IDs that they needed. I can't remember exactly what the story was, but it was like along the lines.
Don't we have ID? Don't we need to take picture ID in the UK to vote?
I've never taken ID with me when I don't think.
No, I think it's new.
Oh, a new thing. Maybe it's Tories that were trying to do it.
I might be talking out my butt, but there's definitely a want to do that. I know, because there's a big thing about it really excluding trans people from like wanting to vote, because like that ID often won't match who they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was here. There was something about America doing it when it comes to racism, and it was like to stop as many black people voting. And maybe it was the UK, was like it was making it harder for younger people to vote because they needed photo ID, because the Tories know that the young people are more likely to vote either like Liberal or like Green or like Labour or something. But they're gonna lose. I cannot imagine them gonna win this election coming up. Who's actually gonna vote for Rishi Sunak?
I will.
Me. Can you imagine?
Get out.
Rishi Sunak.
Dear feminists, if you spent more time baking these rather than eating them, you may find a man and be happy.
Because like
misogynistic, fatphobic. Stop eating the pies, just make them to lure a man.
I don't understand this idea that like feminism or like feminists are like all overweight people who just eat pies. Like, what are they? What?
Well, they think they're making a joke, but it doesn't make sense, because you're basically just saying, oh, okay, so feminists eat pies. Right. That's all they do. They eat the pies that other people make. I was doing a video recently and I was so exhausted about 2/3 of the way through, because I was like, this whole time I've been trying to make sense of what I'm reacting to, and it just doesn't. It's like homophobic memes. I'm just like, what the at this point?
Yeah.
So, dear feminists, make pie.
I do like a pie.
I do like a pie.
I like an apple crumble. I like an apple crumble. Rhubarb strudel. Oh, delicious.
I like a berry strudel.
Berry strudel. Because I live with my grandparents. They're from the very generation of like women was the baker or whatever. My grandma actually really liked cooking. She used to make this gorgeous pie. The constantly just put pies, but pies and pies everywhere. She was also a feminist though, so she was a feminist who made lots of pies. So.
I know, who said you can't be a pie baking feminist and a pie eating non-feminist?
Yeah.
Pie baking and making and eating is not the be all and end all of whether you're a feminist or not. One,
I
you
love
don't
how
need
that
a...
shocks you.
I
goes,
know. Mummy made a pie. You don't need a man to be happy.
No.
What about women who don't want a man for whatever reason, sexual orientation, or just wanting to be single? And pies. Why so much emphasis on pie? It's because they found the photo.
They found the photo.
Like,
they found the photo.
Oh, she looks like a trad wife. How can we make this funny? Ridiculous.
I'd love for these people who were like go on about going back to the old days and these times. Okay, then why don't you actually live properly like how they lived? Why don't you go and put some lead in your face and your face powder, or maybe eat some radium from like the watches, or asbestos, or like why don't you paint your wallpaper with the green arsenic that was in the green paint or whatever?
Can't have your smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. Take that
Get
away.
rid of it. No Twitter.
Back in my day, we used to do all this. It's so unfairly.
Go on, then go back to your day then. Go back and live like the way that you lived back then. See how long you
Without the Twitter validation.
Without the Twitter
it wouldn't be
validation,
long.
How am I I gonna pay for my tick?
Taylor Swift ticket, $500. New outfit, who the fuck is spending $500 on a new outfit?
Jesus.
iPhone 15, $1,500. Can't pay back student loans, priceless. This is the whole millennials can't buy houses because they buy avocados.
My grandparents, right, they had a 3-bedroom bungalow, nice bit of land behind it. It was like less than £15,000, and that was in like the 60s whenever they bought that, right? The same house sold for £300,000. But the idea that you would go, well, when I was younger, I bought this house for, but they were never like this. I'm using an example. My grandparents were never like this. If you would say that, okay, but where are we getting £300,000 from?
Yeah, also, like, have wages gone up the same proportion? No, they haven't.
No,
There's so many graphs
absolutely.
that show you that, like, house prices are like this and wages are like this.
Yeah.
Like, this gap is why millennials can't buy houses.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with this. And I'm telling you, millennials who can't buy houses, can't pay back their student loans, are very unlikely to be spending $2,500 to go to one concert.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll
absolutely.
buy the tickets. That is not the be-all and end-all of whether you can pay back £60,000 worth of student loan or buy
Yeah.
a £300,000 house. So disproportionate, the comparisons. Say that about somebody who goes out and spends 90 grand on a car.
Yeah.
Fair. But
Also, what's stupid about this is iPhone 15, $1,500, can't pay back loans priceless. I'm pretty sure most people who get iPhones will just buy it on finance and have like a contract for like a 2-year thing that they pay back $30 a month or something.
I think very few people buy their phone outright.
No, I don't. I don't know many people just buy the phone outright. So that's stupid in itself. But yeah, it's this idea that like, say these people have spent this money on this, whatever, and can't pay back student loans. It's this idea of you are not allowed to enjoy your life or have fun at all until you have given every ounce of your money to the government.
Such a good
I
point.
don't understand why they seem to hate the idea of people being able to enjoy themselves
Because they don't have any fun.
they don't have any fun. Yeah, I will never understand that. Let people enjoy things. I would understand if you personally lent
money
someone
to-
to someone
yeah.
and they really needed something at a situation and suddenly they've bought a new computer and a new this and they're doing all this stuff and like, well, I would understand that. This student loan thing, like whatever, there are some taxes or things that might happen, but like you're acting like it's coming especially out of your bank account and you've now lost 30 grand. Also, can we just talk about the amount of money it costs now to get a degree is
Oh my God.
repugnant, especially in the UK.
So I graduated from my undergrad in 2015. 9 years ago, I owe more now, and I've been paying back my student loan since I finished my PhD like 5 years later. So I've been paying back my student loan for over 4 years now. I owe more now than I did at the beginning.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
It's just going up.
Yeah, and the stupid thing is like, I still think education is obviously incredibly important. They're getting a degree now doesn't mean as much as it used to. Like Luxaria, I talk about this all the time with Luxaria when she tried to get an entry-level job in a science space that she was going to get to. And they were like, what's your second degree in? And she had just like finished his first degree and had spent like years and years and years. And they were like, where's your second degree? 2 degrees to get an entry-level job in science. It was just like, most of the people that I worked with, and when I worked in retail, a lot of people who I worked with had degrees, had much more than just like GCSEs.
Yeah.
A lot of the young people had like actual like proper like high qualifications, just couldn't find jobs because it was like, where's your experience? Where's
Yeah.
all this? And it's like, what? Getting degrees now don't mean as much as it used to.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And I was the first year where they did the prices from £3,000 a year to 9.
Oh, disgusting.
It was just so painful.
Is it? I think it's in Scandinavia, like a lot of the education is free. Can we stop acting like, is it like, yeah, student loans and like getting them to go to university is like this like really cheap thing that people are doing? They can just spend, like pay it back. It's
Yeah.
so, again,
And-
it's out of touch boomers though, who are just like,
No,
look at
it
my
is.
day, I bought my house for an onion. Like, well, great, thank you, Stuart. I'm
An
so
onion
glad that-
and a radish.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't forget the radish
Yeah.
story. Well, yeah.
Don't make it sound too easy.
Yeah, sorry, but I don't get it. Again, it's this stupid, like, buying avocados. I hate avocados.
Also, typically, student loans are higher than what an average young person would be putting down as a house deposit. even.
Yeah.
They can be like 50, 60, 70,000 pounds / dollars.
Mm-hmm.
If you find a house, you do a 10% deposit, you're looking at around like 25 to 30,000, which is
Yeah.
a hell of a lot of money. But
Yeah.
that is significantly less than a lot of people's student loans.
Yeah.
So like expecting people to pay back their student loans, especially like in some big lump sum. Some people could spend £2,500. Maybe they spread that out as they are spreading out their student loans. Like in the UK, it just automatically gets taken out in your
Yes,
tax.
of course, yeah.
If I had the means and I wanted to, doing a lump sum would be a thing I'd do. But why would I? Because they keep putting, I'm just paying interest.
Well, that's the thing.
Why would they do that?
Everything that we do in life, like, we budget things. When people buy houses and get mortgages, they don't just only pay the mortgage off in one go. You make a calculation, this is how much I can afford a month, and this comes out, this. Same with when you're renting a house. But for some weird reason, when it comes to things like this, they're like, why haven't I paid it all back yet?
Yeah.
Anything you do, having a student loan and getting help for all that kind of stuff is exactly the same as getting a contract out on your phone. You get it to pay over a course of a set period of time, not to do it all in one go. So I don't understand why. I don't get it. But again, I still think education should be free. Like, the more educated people you have in the world, the better the society will be, the happier people will be, the better jobs there'll be. Like, why do you want to gatekeep education to such a degree where you're having to, like, basically sell a lung in order to go to university? Like, I mean, and you might disagree with me and think I'm talking about my asshole, but if education was free and we had more funding for it, people would be happier. There'd be a lot more educated people here. Maybe we wouldn't have so many bigoted people in the world because they're not so bubbled in their little, like, small town, because I've actually learned a bit more.
Do you know, through all of your ranting and your swearing and your shouting and your go die, what really comes through is you're like, I just want people to be happy.
I just want people to be happy.
know.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
He's a softie, really.
I am, yeah. The external says die.
The internal says, I
No,
love you.
just that. Don't get rid of the facade. People need to be scared of me. I need more comments being like, oh, it's too much for me. Then a screenshot and put it on my channel.
On that note,
that
was the last one.
Yeah.
How was that? Did you like that?
good.
I mean, that's a weird question. Did you like the
I
bigots?
enjoy that, yeah. I find it interesting because I feel like when we do videos on your channel, there's a lot more actual discussions of, like, quite deep, meaningful things, where on mine it's more just chaotic, which I think is quite a nice balance, because like, I don't feel like I've just done the same thing over and over again. It's a nice change, because it, like, of course what we're doing is just, like, actually quite horrific, but
Yeah.
like, it's a nice change. Sometimes I do ramble, but I actually feel like I have good points sometimes that, like, I don't tend to say on my channel, because I'm like, don't see that tattoo, that's a swastika, it's stupid. Like, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoyed the discussion.
Yeah.
I think you brought some good points to the table.
I hope some of
House
it
for an
made
onion.
sense. I do shout, buying house for an onion and a radish.
Yeah.
I do shout a bit and rant a bit, but I hope our points get across.
I'm sure they did. They did to me.
Yeah, they
did to me.
You're used to my language at this
I
point.
am.
Yeah.
Yeah, nearly.
Almost, yeah. There's some words you're like, oh, is that a joke or
Literally at the
is that a
beginning
slur?
of your
Yeah.
video. Should I laugh?
Yeah, I actually said that I stand with J.K. Rowling. Justice for Maya.
On that note, oh my god, my stomach just shriveled like that. On that note, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Please go show Rolly some love. I left the link to his channel down below. Also, go watch the video we did together. We looked at some very entitled people who think they're the main character.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
very interesting.
Interesting,
Fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
Infuriating.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
That's a great word.
Yeah. And you'll be seeing us again very soon, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Tomorrow. This is our channel, it's a joint channel.
Forget Shaba. Shaba who?
Stupid, grow up.
As always, thank you so much for watching. Think about giving a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. And I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.
Well.